can see here that I've got my sketch, done my sketch in biro, and I'm just starting to lay down colour. Now, I'll be honest with you, a lot of the sketch you can see I don't end up doing, and the reason was there's a load of ideas here that I wasn't really feeling when I got into it, and I was losing faith even at the stage you can see now. So I'm just dropping colour in. As you can see, it wasn't a colour palette that I really wanted to be using, and at this stage I was thinking, how am I going to make this work? How am I going to do it? Not sure. Just keep on going, drop some shadows in. At the moment it looks fine, it looks okay. I knew for his glasses, for instance, I've done them in yellow there, and I knew I didn't have a decent enough fine line brown to put in for the details and stuff, so I was a bit stumped. I just thought, just keep going. So as you can see, just laying down a bit of colour, laying down base colour, and the colour wasn't even laying down very well. The pink wasn't laying down very well either, for some reason, not sure why. Probably a 40 valve or something, but anyway, when it starts getting to black line, I get a bit more confident around this sort of stuff, and I kind of go, okay, good. Now, the reason I'm getting the details in on this character here is because also, if I can get something into a finished state, I start to feel a bit more confident about the piece. So that's what I start to do. Start to do a bit of pencil, start to see how it's going to look when it's finished, sort of thing, you know. Makes me feel a bit better. Just gives me enough confidence to keep on going. So I thought I'd chuck some blue in. Did them blue arrows that you can see, and even at this stage, I'm thinking, you know, is this going to work? Is it going to work? I'm not sure. Just keep going. Then I got this idea: lay this really dark pink down in the background. I've always loved this colour, but it's a very, very strong colour. I don't have anything works brilliantly with it that I've ever made work with it anyway. But as a background colour, it's fantastic. Years and years and years ago, I remember seeing a rucksack piece done by a guy, and it had that colour all in the background, big blocks of that dark pink colour. It worked really, really well. So I thought I'd go for it. So I got me block colour in my cute letters there as well. This yellow doesn't lay down very well at all. It's very watery. It's a Molotov as well, and it took about 3 coats in the end to get this into a workable state until I was happy with it. I think that's about 3 coats there that's on now, and as you can see, I'm now getting all this background in as quickly as possible so that I can get an idea. And also, you can see me doing a bit of smudging there. I'm getting nice bit of background smoke in as well to build a bit of texture in the background. Now I'm getting the fade in the letters, and that needs a bit of work. There you go. Just do that. I'll do a bit more on that in a bit. I had a problem with the bubbles. If you look around the edge, if you look right to the left hand side of the bubbles, I started doing the outline in purple. My purple gave up, so I was wrestling with the materials as well. The rest of the bubbles, as you can see, I've done them in dark blue. You don't really notice, so I didn't care about going over it again or anything. Put big black blocks in for a sort of close, what's it called, near ground building there. You can see the characters have really shaped up. They're nearly finished at this point. Dropping these bubbles in over the top of the letters. Always a good idea to build a bit of a 3D environment for yourself in a piece. No, something that gives you a bit of a foreground and pushes other things into the background. It means you need a shadow colour. I had a sort of an ochre colour that I could lay on that yellow. So I'm outlining the letters now, and at this point I'm starting to see, okay, it's alive. It's okay. I've breathed life into it. It's going to be a runner. It's going to work, this. It's going to work. I'm pretty much happy with everything's going on there. I'm putting purple in the fades. Gives it an extra little dimension there, a couple of bubbles there, all that. So I'm getting happy with this now. At this stage, I'm kind of going, good. This is about 2/3 done, probably. Getting drop highlights in there, all that. But I've got a problem, because that background was supposed to be very pale and sort of stuffed into the background, but because of the colour scheme I didn't have a decent enough colour to push it far enough back, so I had a problem. And I wasn't quite sure at this stage what I was going to do about it, which is why you see me faffing around with everything else. I'm doing everything else, trying to complete everything I possibly can, and now I'm getting the background in, so I think, okay, yellow, let's get yellow in there. Why not? We've got yellow elsewhere, we've got yellow on the left, yellow on the right, let's get some yellow in the background. That'll work it. That'll work. It needs it, and like I said before, it's going to take 3 coats to get that nice and solid. So I could have probably done it on 2, but I thought get 3 in there just to make sure. And you can see that I've done the buildings in the pinks and pushed it back. Now that's not going to work, and you're going to see in a minute why not. There you go. I'm just getting the 3rd coat in there, and now I'm waiting for it to dry, getting other things done. Now I'm blowing a bit of fade in there, and that colour doesn't work very well with the pink. Just doesn't really work very well. You know, on the letters and everything's black outline, there's other stuff, you know, there's stuff to set it back, there's nothing on the background that works as well. So I was suddenly feeling a bit stumped. I thought it doesn't really work. I'm not a fan. It doesn't work for me. So I done that. I dropped an ochre colour in it instead, which I thought worked much better. And I just thought, good. You know, it's not brilliant, to be honest. It's not really brilliant. The perspective is not great on it. It's not a particularly good background. I'll detail it, do some detail, at least, you know, do something on it. You'll see me do a bit more in a second, but I wasn't overjoyed with it. But by this point I was like, yeah, doesn't matter, we live to fight another day. It's background anyway. Foreground stuff I'm pretty happy with at this stage. I'm pretty happy with it. Dropping a little bit of far background in there, and that will do it.